It's a Chelsea question. Thoughts on reports that Enzo's teammates have asked Liam Rosenior to lift his suspension for the Man City game. So remember, it's a 2-game suspension for his comments. But we're hearing from an Argentine journalist that his teammates are asking the coach to lift it.
No, I don't think the coach decides it. I think it's the club that made that decision. I don't think, Liam Rosenior is the one that called that shot, because even when he spoke about him, the way he said, like, he's a nice kid, I like him, there's nothing, but I just had to make the change. I think it's a club change. When it comes to this, look, in my time, I never had this situation. If you did something wrong, the coach might, put you on the bench or whatever, but then put you back in. So for giving him 2 games, maybe for me it's a little bit too long, but we had it last time I was on, we said it was a wink, he was being clever, and yes, you understand the comment that he made wasn't right because it doesn't help him. That's why I say the comment was alright. But away from that, to punish him 2 games, come on, hey. There also comes a moment on the opposite side, when the club doesn't want you anymore, they get rid of you really quickly. So I think they have to find a balance, and I don't feel they have found it yet.
I want to ask this question genuinely, right? Regardless of what you make of the suspension and the reason for it, the 4 guys who've played, 3 other guys who played here, have you ever heard of a player getting an internal suspension, a suspension from the club, and players going to the manager to ask for it to be overturned? I've never heard of them. I'm genuinely asking that of the
players
guys.
knocking on your door, asking to overturn a suspension?
No. Absolutely not, no. It'd be great if they did. Because if you think they've looked stupid over this, if they actually did this, they would look even more stupid.
Get out.
Honestly, it would, the fact that you shouldn't have had it in the first place, and they've given it all this, try to be all, we're going to show everybody we're in charge. If they actually overturned it now, they would. If you thought it couldn't go any lower, it would.
Have you ever seen this? Have you ever seen this yourself, Mario?
No, that's why I said, for me, no. And, like going to the team and asking, like, it will be the captain that has to go. But he's the vice captain, so what he has to go to Reece James and say, hey, can you go and talk for me, dude? Because, or he comes to him and saying, like, nah, it's too much. They're making too much of a show of it. Now you got to get on. You already made the decision. Let's carry on. Regardless if you have Man United after the City game, I mean. Hey, guys, you made the decision. You don't want to become even more of a comedian. Just carry on.
Robbo?
It's madness, isn't it? But at the moment, the more that the Liam Rosenior talks and the Chelsea hierarchy talk, the more stupid they make themselves sound. I mean, they're just making some big mistakes in the press, and there's another one, So, yeah, it's not going well, I don't think, at Chelsea, but they've got a chance of winning the FA Cup.
Yep.
So, I suppose they say it's a good season.
Again, fantastic conversation with Mark yesterday. Half an hour in my office. The disappointing thing for me, what we're trying to create here in my time, I've only been here for coming up to 3 months. I can't speak. I'm enjoying it, even the difficult moments. I want players, I've said to them from day one, if they've got any issue with how we do things, to come and speak to me and speak to the sporting directors. My disappointment in Mark's interview is where it went to. I think he should have spoken to us first about the things that he's feeling. I want players to feel like they can speak openly and honestly for the benefit of the football club. And those conversations we've had with Reece James, that's why Reece has signed a new contract, because he believes in where we're going. And as a football club, we know we need to improve, myself included, and we actually know what we're going to do in the summer to achieve those objectives.
Just finally on that, why do you think that Mark doesn't feel that he can speak to you or one of your maybe many sporting directors? Do you think that he's just unaware of where the kind of power lies within all of this? Everybody
knows Mark Cucurella, knows his character. He's a great character. He's passionate. He wants to do well. I think for him, he did an interview, a long interview, where he spoke with passion, he spoke his mind. Yesterday, while I was in the office with him for half an hour, was to remind him, you can come and speak to me. You can be honest with me, and you can be honest with the club about what you want. But that takes time. I've been here for 2.5 months. We've played 20 games. So to build those relationships and those connections takes time. But Mark is fully committed. He wants to be here. He's made that very, very clear to me. And he actually believes in where we're moving forward. Honestly, all of them, massive conversations. Not just about how we play or results, actually how we move forward and what we need to improve. There's a lot of improvements for us to make. But at the same time, I want a culture here where we can be open and be transparent and challenge each other. And that comes from the players. I want them to be demanding of each other as well. So to create that, you have to have difficult conversations, but you also need to tell each other when you're doing something well. At the moment, you'll see in the coming weeks, there'll be things that happen around this football club that will actions speak louder than words, and you'll see what happens in the next couple of weeks in terms of the commitment of the players to this project.
Has there been a reaction among the squad to what's been said publicly in the last few days by those players?
Yeah, I think that's something that stays. There's certain conversations that need to stay behind closed doors. What there isn't, I'll make this very, very clear. There is not a rift in the dressing room. There's not a group of players who are not speaking to another group of players. We are together, and me included. We go through, and every club goes through difficult moments in the season. We had a very, very difficult 10 days as a football club in terms of the results, in terms of being out of the Champions League. Now's the time for us to come together, back from the international break, and make sure we commit and perform in the manner that we need to do.